welcome back to Phenomena, episode 4 of season 2. Where are you? Here's Chino. I don't know if you can see her. My little familiar. Yeah, so really quickly before we dive into Phenomannouncements, I got my ominous oracle deck. So exciting! From Lita Pavlova Magic. I shouted her out a couple of episodes ago as one of our first, I think maybe our very first announcement. I ordered an oracle deck from her, and I noticed that one of the cards was Phenomenon, which is crazy. I love it. Let me see. Oh my God, if it's the very first one, I swear I didn't do anything to it. It's not. Okay, let me find it. Oh, there's some like really pretty ones in here. Like Haunted but Healed. That's a really pretty one. Oh, I don't know if it's there. Oh, and then like all the cards are this like translucent pink color. It's just so pretty. I should have just had it out, but it's more authentic this way. Like, where are you, Phenomenon? It's a pretty card too. Oh, I found it. Oh my God, there she is. Okay, again, I have a weird setting on, but like, look how pretty she is. I don't know if there. Stunning. There she is. Very cute. And it comes with a little like guidebook. So you could just like pick cards, shuffle them, think about the fact that the oracle has a card to show you, and then pick a card and then read what it means. And it's fun. The Phenomenon, it's very cute. I do enjoy the meaning behind the Phenomenon. Might even say it's my favorite. Okay, and it's number 13. Ooh. At the dawn of time, natural powers like fire and electricity and spiritual virtues like willpower and passion came together and created the most powerful places and most powerful spirits in the world. Raw will and desire will take those entities wherever they need to be, manifesting their inner world into reality. This card indicates you have a part of such a spirit in you. Create and make things happen in order to stay phenomenal and let these powers out in the world. Yay! Oh my God. See? So if you came to this episode, this was for you. I feel like a TikTok oracle. You know those people that go on live and they're like, this card is meant for you if you're seeing it. Keywords: supernatural power and strength, pure will, abilities to manifest and change reality, risks of burnout if you stay passive too long. Do with that what you will. Super cool deck. I love it. Ominous oracle. She has a bunch of other oracles. She has like a Bird King oracle and one that's dedicated to frogs, which is amazing and very on brand with the color I chose today, which is green. Into our Phenomannouncements, I wrote down the kind of small business / congregation of small businesses, I guess, called the Magic Market. The next one is on April 19th and 20th. You can go either day or both days. It's at the Heritage Square Museum. I unfortunately am flying to Italy the 20th, which reminds me, we are taking a quick mid-season break on the 30th, April 30th. We will not have an episode. I'm sorry. We won't have a formal episode. We might still post something just because I'm going to be in Italy and picking out my wedding venue. Oh my God, stop. I know, guys, I will not be able to attend, but they have a bunch like throughout the year because I follow them on Instagram. I'll put their Instagram up. But if you just look up Magic Market LA, it's in like SoCal. They choose different places to do it, I'm pretty sure. And they have several throughout the year. So although I can't join the 419 and 421, 420 should be fun. So they have a bunch of witchy vendors because speaking of the, ominous oracle and all things witchy and oracle decks and tarot cards and, smudging and Palo Santo and all that jazz. They have some really cool stuff. I wanted to say pretty cool and really cool, so I said pretty cool. Gruel. This week's episode is about the Roanoke Colony's disappearance, written by Jodelle. Ooh, okay, so we were at a friend's house yesterday, right? Yes. I mentioned that we were going to be recording the Roanoke Colony's disappearance. One of the people whose houses we were at was like, oh, Roanoke Colony's crazy. I'm like, don't tell me about it. I'm going to learn about it tomorrow. So here it is. Tomorrow is today, and time is a social construct. Let's get into it. We've all heard the dark, gruesome tale of British pilgrims sailing across the Atlantic. Atlantic, already making an appearance, to discover and subsequently colonize, yikes, indigenous lands and people, laying the foundation for what we now call the United States. How united is it? That's not in the script. I just added that in there. But did you know that 20 years before the first English colony took root, there was another? If you didn't, that's probably because that colony and everyone in it vanished without a trace. Ooh, hence why it's called the Roanoke Colony's Disappearance. Today's history lesson. See, I didn't really like history like in high school And in college, I like didn't opt in to take it. Yeah, I was never into history, but I feel like we're learning a lot of history and phenomena. You know what? If my history lessons included like the Bell Witch and the Roanoke Colony's disappearance, I might have paid more attention, right? Come on. All right, so today's history lesson covers everything we know about the lost colony of Roanoke, one of America's oldest unsolved mysteries. Let's get into the lore. England's first voyage to North America happened in 1584 when two ships arrived on Roanoke Island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Legend says English crews established relations with the Algonquin people. Oh, Algonquin. Wait, there's, I think, a city or a town named Algonquin in Illinois because I used to live in Chicago. So Algonquin, I know that. The Algonquin people. Well, I know, like, they obviously took the names of a lot of places like Milwaukee and, well, that's in Wisconsin, Winnetka, like a lot of these, I'm pretty sure, are names of, like, tribes. The Algonquin people trading goods and learning about each other's cultures. Nice. Two Algonquin men even traveled to England for a year, helping to strengthen ties between the two groups. Okay, so far, so good, right? They're respecting each other's cultures, it sounds like. And the two groups were able to return home and be translators for each other's, the two Algonquin men traveled to England and then they returned home as translators. Wow. See, they put in all the work to be translators. Where's the work on the English people side? Hello. Okay, a second voyage in 1585 didn't go as well. This time, the crew, made up of soldiers, sailors, explorers, and other men. Maybe they should have packed some women in STEM. Women in STEM! Yes, honestly, where are the women in STEM? There were women in STEM. Behind every man in STEM was a woman in STEM. They just weren't written about, okay? But yeah, I don't know why they didn't put women in STEM on their voyage, built a fort to defend against the Spanish while searching for precious metals. Instead of learning to farm, they relied heavily on the Algonquins for food. And there it is. Yep, that checks out, honestly. Instead of like trying to learn how to farm the land, they were just like, yo, you got us? All right, cool. We're just gonna like steal your metals if that's fine. What? Ridiculous. Honestly, am I surprised? No, because it's English. Isn't like the biggest museum in England, like all stolen goods? Isn't like almost all artifacts that English museums have are like stolen from like other colonies that like, and some of them like have asked for it back and the English are like, no, you can't take care of it properly. And they're like, but it's not yours to begin with. English people are crazy. Don't come for me, English people. Tensions rose as the Algonquin people watched their resources dwindle and their population shrink from exposure to European diseases. Classic. Honestly, this I did learn about in history and it made me very mad because literally Europeans just brought a bunch of diseases and gave nothing in return. Awesome. Love that. Not really, obviously. When a rumor spread that the Algonquin chief planned to cut off their food supply, the English leader decided to preemptively assassinate him, forever altering relations between the two groups. This is exactly the kind of behavior that gets you cursed. Yeah, that part, retweet, because what are you doing preemptively assassinating someone? Because he's a chief and he decided to like feed your men while you were like out there looking for metals on their land? I don't understand. If someone could just walk me through what European colonizers are thinking during this time, that'd be great. Actually, even if they did walk me through it, I'd be like, stupid logic. Done. Go learn how to bathe. Soon after, most of the Englishmen fled, catching a ride on a passing ship captained by Sir Francis Drake. Wow. Classic. All the Englishmen just decided to like run with their tail between their legs. They were like, oh no, we might get cursed. Oh no. Like, girl, you had it coming. Come on. Like, did they even try to like say sorry or they just ran away? That's such bully behavior. Then came the third voyage in 1587. This time, the English sent a group of 117 men, women, 2 of whom were pregnant, and children on a ship the size of a school bus to establish the first permanent English settlement in North America. Wow, I didn't know it like took this many times of them sending people out there and like putting bad juju out into the world until they were like, all right, unsuspecting people, go on this cursed land that we definitely cursed before sending y'all here. You guys are like your little test subjects. Like, hopefully you don't get cursed. If you do, then we'll know not to go there. The expedition was led by John White. John White. If that's not the most colonial sounding name ever, Jodal, yes. Facts. John with an H. John White, a scientist who was set to govern the new colony. All right, John White, what you got? I don't have high hopes for John White. Shocker. Their intended destination, Chesapeake Bay. But when they stopped at Roanoke to check for any surviving members of the previous expedition, the ship's captain refused to take them any further. Was it the curse? So the settlers had no choice but to stay on Roanoke, where they repaired the abandoned fort and buildings. Okay, I wonder if they just repaired it because they were like, oh, we need some place to stay. They didn't do it out of the goodness of their hearts. They were just like, well, the captain won't take us. That August, White's daughter, Eleanor, gave birth to the first English child born in North America, Virginia Dare. An excellent stage or drag name. I concur. Virginia Dare. Everyone, welcome to the stage, Virginia Dare. Oh my God, do I see it already? I love it. But with their arrival so late in the growing season, the colony struggled to grow food. Worse, they feared retaliation from the local Native Americans whose chief had been murdered by the previous settlers. See? Well, yeah. It literally feels like these people did a bunch of bad stuff and then we're like, yeah, we're just going to send a bunch of women and children and hopefully they don't die. But if they do, then it's then we'll know it's cursed. Why don't you go back and pay retribution for what you did? White men could never. 3 days after the colonists' arrival, Native Americans killed a colonist. The settlers retaliated by attacking a native village. Okay, so Native Americans killed one colonist and they retaliated by killing an entire village, only to realize too late that it was a friendly one. Okay, so they're fully leaning into activating this curse. Got it. Yep. Oh my God, wait, I love this. Jodelle, this is my favorite style of your writing so far. I love the little, you're actually putting your thoughts in parentheses. Oh my God, 2-person podcast. I love it. Literally, they're fully leaning in. They're saying it with their full chest, 10 toes down. They're like, yeah, oh, oops, you guys were different. We didn't realize that you weren't the same ones that killed our other person. Sorry, our bad. What? Oh my God. When this curse activates, which it sounds like it will, it sounds like they had it coming. So by the end of August, it was clear that they were in trouble. White declared, at first I read whites. All the whites decided, I also read declared. I can't read clearly. If I could, they'd call me a witch. White decided to sail back to England for supplies, leaving behind his family, including baby Virginia. Virginia Dare! We love Virginia Dare! And the rest of the settlers. Wow, okay. Sick. He's like, yeah, no. I just have to do a quick CBS run, the one in the middle of the sea / the one back in England. Yeah, sorry, we didn't build one here yet. Just got to go back real quick. You guys are good? Great. Awesome. I just fucked shit up here, but it looks like you guys got it. Ridiculous. Insane. That's my new word for today. Ridiculous. Ridiculousness. But just as he arrived in England, war broke out between England and Spain. Honestly, serves him right for trying to run away from this colony. But also, war is bad. But also 2.0, it sounds like England and Spain had tensions brewing for a while and then war finally broke out, probably because England started it. I don't know. England and Spain were both kind of hardheads, I feel like, with the whole war thing. Queen Elizabeth I commandeered every available ship to fight the Spanish Armada, stranding White for 3 years. Stranding him where? In England? Oh. So Queen Elizabeth I was like, nah, this war broke out. We need all the ships. And White's like, but I gotta get back. I told him I'd BRB. And they were like, yeah, but tell them you're gonna be only 3 years. Okay. Finally, in August 1590, the year of our Lord, 1590, White secured a ship and returned to Roanoke, only to find nothing. No people, no bodies, no signs of struggle. The homes had been carefully dismantled. Only clue? The word Croatoan carved into a post and the letters CRO carved into a nearby tree. Croatoan. White took this as a sign that the colonists had moved to Croatoan Island, now Hatteras Island, but before he could investigate, a hurricane rolled in, forcing him to sail back to England. That is peak curse behavior. Bermuda Triangle, anyone? I added that in, but no, literally, because what? A hurricane? That's nuts. He couldn't, it wouldn't let him investigate anymore. He just got the bare bones, okay, quite literally bare bones. Nothing was there except for this weird word. That's wild. Attempts to find the settlers, including searches by the Jamestown colonists 20 years later, led nowhere. So to recap, John White, the whitest name ever, he decided to settle on the Roanoke land and then wasn't the super coolest. The settlers that were there before them killed the chief, so obviously it was already bad blood. And then John White left his daughter and like whole family basically in the other settlement, I guess, the whole settlement, and was like BRB, but then he like couldn't BRB for another 3 years because there was a war that broke out between Spain and England, and Queen Elizabeth I commandeered all the ships. So he was like, oh no, or I can't get there. Might as well drink until the 3 year pass. The 3 years pass. Let's get into the theories. So, what happened to the lost colony? One theory follows the Croatoan carving. Yeah, that would be a first good clue. Some believe the colonists moved to Croatoan Island. Croatoan Island. Am I saying that right? I keep wanting to say like Croatian, but it's Croatoan. Croatoan. I can't say it any other way. I have no idea how else to say it. Croatoan Island, and assimilated into the Hatteras tribe. They assimilated? If it was maybe women and children, potentially. But were there any other men there? Because I can't see that happening. I feel like they would have just tried to like take it over again. Archaeologists have found English artifacts at Hatteras village sites, suggesting contact between the groups, but nothing definitive. Adding to this theory are the Dare stones, a series of engraved stones supposedly left by Eleanor Dare. Dare's kind of a sick last name. Why was it White's daughter, Eleanor? Oh, right. Okay, so John White's granddaughter is Virginia, and his daughter is Eleanor. Cool. Dare is a cool last name. Don't do drugs. Dare, the Dare program, which failed miserably, actually, so do drugs, I don't care. Supposedly left by Eleanor Dare, detailing the colonists' fate. What? Stones? While most are considered hoaxes, some experts believe at least one could be authentic. Move over, Rosetta Stone. We got the Dare stones now. Wayo! Yes. Ooh, I love it. How did it recount what happened? That's it? That's the whole theory? What? I want to know. What was on there? Was it like stick figures and drawings of like, oh no, and then this happened and, nothing? Another theory, the settlers tried to sail back to England on their own and got lost at sea. If they veered too far south, they could have drifted into the Bermuda Triangle because, of course, the Bermuda Triangle had to make an appearance. Yes! Jadelle, I already made that joke. I already made that connection, but good try. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, we are clairvoyant. We are of the same mind because samesies. In this theory, the settlers tried to sail back to England on their own and got lost at sea. If they veered too far south, they would have gotten lost in the Bermuda Triangle. So they had ships. So it sounds like John White went with his own ship, but then like they still had ships. So maybe, I don't know, after like a year or two, they were like, where's Papa? So they decided to hop on the ship and sail and then get lost. Or maybe they met a violent end at the hands of Spanish soldiers on land or sea during the war. Well, that's decidedly more morbid, but a theory nonetheless. Okay. Well, I mean, it was a war. I don't know. Or then there's the idea that the colonists fell victim to natural or supernatural disasters, hurricanes, disease, or starvation. But would any of these have been natural causes? With the very probable curse in play, we think not. Yeah. No, honestly, because they kept digging. They were like, where's your curse now? And then maybe the curse just like went crazy. It sucks that John White got to just like, sail away and stay away from the curse that I guess previous settlers caused. Did he kind of cause it a little bit himself? I don't know. I think just by virtue of being a man colonist, he must have caused it somehow. But don't shoot the messenger. This is history. This is history. Okay? So a supernatural calamity brought on in the wake of the violence of their predecessors is the only explanation we take any stock in. Interesting. Yeah. Honestly, that checks out. Like, I could definitely see a curse finally just coming to fruition. I feel like, what if they went to Hatteras Island or Croatoan Island? What if they went there and then the curse followed them there? I don't know. Because, it's interesting that Croatoan was written. It's almost like they were like, we're here in case you come here and then we're not here. We're actually here in Croatoan. But was it called Croatoan back then? How did they know how to get there? Maybe they sailed there. I don't know. That said, the mystery of the colonists' disappearance remains unsolved to this day. How many of them were there? Hold on. I gotta go back. Wondering if I might not have clocked how many of them there were. Oh, right. Okay, so the third voyage, the English sent a group of 117 men and women, 2 of whom were pregnant. Oh, okay. 117 men, women, and children. Okay, at first I read 117 men and 2 women. I was like, Jesus Christ, why? But okay. I feel like curses maybe take a while to actually come to fruition. So I don't think they really cared if it hit the actual predecessors who like did them dirty. It was like, fine, we'll hit future generations from now, which is honestly scarier because that is like, you can't escape that. That's literally cursing your like entire bloodline, basically. Wow. However, it did influence the next group of English settlers who established their own colony 17 years later, just north of the site at Jamestown, now present-day Williamsburg, Virginia. How did it influence them? They just like decided to go north a bit. They were like, actually, this is cursed land because Croatoan. So we got to go up. I wonder if Croatoan, the word, is still there to this day. Or like if anything about that place has spooky vibes or like vibes of anything sinister having gone on. Dang, I wish we knew more. I mean, this did take place in the 1500s, so quite a while back. They didn't have cameras, so we can't really like check tape. Can't really see the footage, but I do like the idea of there being, I mean, I don't like the idea. I think it's the most probable that there was a curse, what with all the white people doing white people stuff. And then the Algonquin people? I think it's the Algonquin people. They were the ones that were like rightfully there and then gave them food and basically like let them live on the land while they like scavenged and looked for whatever. And then they were repaid by having their chief killed. So I don't know, sounds like retribution to me. All right, in closing, the Roanoke expedition leaves us with plenty of what ifs. Tell me about it. What if the second voyage settlers had learned to farm? What if they had stayed on good terms with the Algonquins instead of, assassinating their leader? Could that have changed the entire course of American history? I was wondering the same thing because then it's like the fact that 17 years later, that colony of different English settlers established like in Jamestown, like, I don't know, what if we didn't mess up the first place? Would things have gone differently? Would we not be in the bad place now? See? I guess we can play the what if game all day. We'll never know. Awesome. Love that. Love not knowing. Thanks, Jodal. No, I'm kidding. The Roanoke settlers may have disappeared, but the legends of their cursed fate lingers. It makes you wonder, did they go missing or were they removed? Ooh, that's another theory. What if they were like removed forcibly? I'm trying to think like, what if they were literally told like, go to this island, or if they were taken to the island and they were like, all right, go do whatever on this island. Or what if they were like, can you take us back to England? And the Algonquin people were like, sure. And then they were like, yeah, get on the ship. And then they like took them to the Croatoan island and was like, yeah, here's England. Just kidding. Bye. And then left them there. Honestly, good riddance. I don't know. And if there's like, I don't know, some artifacts, it sounds like, to suggest that they were there on that island, then that makes sense. But if they were removed, that's decidedly more creepy. That was very interesting. I actually did not know about the Roanoke Colony disappearance at all. But I think it explains a lot as to, why we're living in the world we're living in now. Maybe things would have gone differently had we not, completely trashed the land and the people on it the second we got here. And by we, I mean European people. I unfortunately took an Ancestry.com test, and I'm like 99.99999% Eastern European, which is no fun. Honestly, I was like, that is mildly concerning because like, why didn't anyone leave this area? Did everyone just marry their cousins? I hate that. Don't like it at all. I was hoping I'd find something really cool, but no, unfortunately not. So yeah, unfortunately it is we. When I say we, it means the Europeans. I'm so sorry. How do we even begin to to pay retribution for those actions? By going to the hands-off rallies around the U.S. Yes, white women unite. Cool. All right. So poke a pick for this week. Rune Rigus. Am I saying that right? I think, is that the one with a bunch of eyes? Pokedex entry. A powerful curse was woven into an ancient painting. Oh, no, this is the rune one. Yes. Jodel, didn't we talk about like playing Sword and Shield and then us needing to like find this Pokemon? Yes. Rune Rigus. Am I saying that right? Rune Rigus? I really don't know. A powerful curse was woven into an ancient painting. After absorbing the spirit of Yamask, the painting began to move. Never touch its shadow-like body, or you'll be shown the horrific memories behind the picture carved into it. Oh my God. Wow. Wait, that's like so on brand with the Roanoke Colony disappearance and the whole like carved into stone thing. That's crazy. What a good Pokepic. Wow. I wonder if they thought of that Pokemon because of the Roanoke Colony. I don't know. Someone call Niantic right now. Actually, didn't they just sell the Pokemon rights to another company, a Swedish company or something? Anyway, very great Pokepic. I'm down. Yes. Go look at our Patreon because I post about the Pokepic and like more about what I think about it. So speaking of Patreon, we have a Patreon and we also have a Discord. I want to say discourse. A Discord tied to the Patreon. We have a free tier, a $2 tier, and a $5 tier. And the free tier gives you access to the Discord. So come hang on Discord. It's super fun. We have like a Pokepic channel and a new episodes channel and a favorite gift channel. And it's really fun and super great. And Bananazar, one of our friends on Discord, has like bountiful. He has like a never-ending storage of Poke lore in his head. It's crazy. I feel like every time we posted a Pokepic, I'm like, do you have any cool lore about this one? He's like, yes, I do. Like for the Kyogre one, he mentioned that the Kyogre and Groudon battle were like those two Pokemon were loosely based on Leviathan and Behemoth. So cool. I didn't know that. I love it. So fun. So yeah, check it out. And then Patreon, I'm kind of using as kind of like a blog. So if you're interested in like seeing what the Pokepics and my favorite gifts from every episode so far are, check it out. I have them like grouped into collections. So you can just see all the Pokepics or just see all the, whatever, or just see the feed as it's been posted. So very customizable. We also, of course, have an email, phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Y'all always write dash. And I know that our YouTube is phenomena-cases, but our email is phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Fun fact. I think it's because I tried to do one or the other and then it didn't let me. It's phenomena.cases for Instagram, and then phenomena.cases@gmail.com, and then phenomena-cases on YouTube. So yeah. So just memorize that. There's going to be a quiz later. I'll keep mentioning this every episode just in case anyone's watching this episode as the first ever one of Phenomena. But new episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. Thank you so much, Merrick's. Feel free to leave this in here or take it out. It's totally up to you. But Merrick's is our amazing video editor that we've hired onto the Phenomena team. Yay! Merrick's, you are a lifesaver. They are editing the episodes, and then I go in and add the GIFs. So it's made making the episodes so much easier. Thank you so much, Merrick. You're awesome and amazing. You are the reason that we've been able to stick to the 6 p.m. PST deadline on Wednesdays. I was almost going to move it, and then I was like, no, we can do this. And lo and behold, we did it. Man, takes a village. But you know what? We did it. Next time on Phenomena, we'll be talking about the mystery of the Mary Celeste ship. Ooh, I have a feeling that's also going to take place in like 1500s or something. Or like close to Titanic time. I don't know. 1800s? 1900s? I don't know. Let me know what you think the Mary Celeste ship is about. Or if you've heard about it or haven't heard about it. Let me know. I'd never heard about Roanoke Colony disappearance. Had you? Let me know. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Make sure you always have 2 feet in reality at all times, or at least can find your way back to reality when needed so that you don't come out the other end thinking the earth is flat. Go watch the Atlantis episode if you're interested in what flat earthers believe. I know the whole lore behind that as well. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.